Alright, welcome to another edition of, what is this, an edition of? Yeah, Google is evil? Okay, we'll call it that. Anyway, it's a donotgod.com video presentation. Alright, so just the standard YouTube video updating my activities, and yeah, there's just one video this week. And, yeah. Evolution takes time. Yeah, so I'm evolving. The argument's evolving. It's just slow. So yeah, I'll try to quicken the pace, but whatever. Alright, so this is kind of a video about something I attempted years ago. I have a bad sloppy version of it here on the, see if you click like this link here, you go to this really, you know, the 10-year ago effort, or however many years ago it was, where, you know, you just ask a bunch of yes and no questions, and frankly it's not that many questions because there's only like 4 subjects to the entire grokking of the universe and understanding your place here, because you're just a brain in space, frankly. And there's not that much to talk about, really. Well, what's the brain do? Oh, it feels good, it feels bad. Feeling bad is bad, and feeling good is good. You know, that's all there is. There isn't, you know, this isn't that complicated. And you're just measuring, well, it's, you know, how much bad is there to how much good, and making some sort of rational purchase agreement. How much should we pay for it? And I'm arguing, obviously, for as little as possible first, and then, you know, frankly, none of it's necessary. Any price is too much because there's not much we're doing that's of any merit at all, except the effort we make to clean up the mess we make. So it's a zero-sum game, and we're playing it badly, which means we're always in the red. It's just not that complicated, frankly. So that's sort of what the video was about, was, you know, just me playing with what are going to be the yes or no questions. So the first yes or no question is the stupid God thing. So I'll play some of this, but that's probably what I'm going to talk about. You know, the first barrier to your brain functioning properly is not believing in Hansel and Gretel. You know, not believing in loony, silly, fabulistic stories about some designer and gods and whatever. It's just too silly. As a notion or an idea, it's just really stupid. Oh, an infinite intelligence made of insanely wasteful pilot. Right. Oh yes, this is what a smart God does, is he tortures feeling things. Yeah, sorry. No sale. Too silly. Yeah, just too silly. Sorry, it's just way too silly. So then you go to the next step. So the point would be is that, yeah, I just make videos to retards who still believe in fables and explain to them all of the bad reasons these fables even exist, and how easy it is to make up a silly story. You know, and you know, when you don't have to prove it, when you don't have to show any evidence, you know. Physical. I don't have cancer. Really good. Yes, I'm just talking about the fact that once you get past the designer issue, then you're just stuck with brain in universe. And what is the brain doing? Well, the biggest thing it's doing is feeling. I mean, that's the really important thing. What exactly I'm thinking about, you know, what my definition of the coolest car is, who cares? The real thing that's going on is I have a state of being, a quality to my sentient experience, and I can have a nail in my eye and be tortured, or I can feel kind of good and warm and comfy. You know, and that's really important, the difference between feeling good and feeling bad. Really, really important. Fighting for the same thing you're fighting for. Now their ambitions aren't as grand. Okay, so now a simple argument that, you know, once you recognize it's this brain thing, then you have to figure out that, you know, all these animals have brains, and their brains work fundamentally like ours, and ours just have a couple of different attributes. You know, like different animals have a big nose or this or that. Well, we happen to have, it's not even so much that it's a bigger brain, but we have a vocabulary enabled brain. It can learn vocabulary, and it can learn concepts and assign words, symbolic sounds to things, and that way we can order them, and we can do lots of organization, and we can draw models of how the thing works, and we don't have to act everything out and all of that kind of stuff. We can let the model do it for us. So we have intelligence, but the intelligence isn't changing the fact that it's, you know, it's a brain with little sense organs feeling its way through its life, and that if you're going to have empathy, there is deserving of your empathy as, you know, the other I can do math people. Okay, the math people aren't special. You know, because somebody can do math doesn't mean the welfare, their comfort is more valuable. It's just silly to think so. So yes, you must really appreciate that the dilemma that we're talking about, brains in space, doesn't include just human brains in space. There's lots of other kinds of brains in space. Okay, don't break the jello. Alright, so I was using an analogy of, you know, just to get to the point that, you know, single player versus multiplayer. You have to recognize that this universe doesn't exist for your entertainment. The only brain that matters isn't your brain. I mean, it's just so stupid to think so. I mean, if you're going to use your intelligence to create a world, the creation shouldn't just make your brain happier. If it doesn't, you know, and it certainly can't compromise the other ones. It can't put them in jeopardy, or you're failing to function efficiently. So you feeling good is not a sufficient solution. It's not answering the question, what is your effect in the universe? Well, it's not just about how you feel, it's about how you made other things feel. And that's just as important. Fact. Baiting. We haven't been doing that very long. And that's part of the evolution. So part of the evolution is gaining language. Okay, so, you know, it's the evolution of our physical capacity to think, and then the evolution of our thoughts. And so we're engaged in the part where we're arguing for the, you know, growth in our understanding. And the point would be that the right direction is that it's accurate, that we accurately describe our reality and then accurately draw conclusions about what we do, you know, with these factual circumstances. Once we understand the factual circumstance, what's the reasonable conclusion that can be drawn? And obviously I'm saying the reasonable conclusion is you scream and go, fuck! And you say, stop it, hit the pause button at least. If you can't hit the stop button, hit the pause button. Because it's a mess. You know, our intelligence is fallible, but our senses are pretty good. So the idea, yeah, so the argument is that, yeah, we have every capacity to get the right answer, and we're only getting wrong answers because human beings are selfish cunts. You know, they're just too stupid to see past it. They don't get smart enough to have a voice in their head that says, you're being a selfish cunt. You're just saying that because it's in your interest. You know, you're just propagandizing for bullshit because you get more cookies out of the deal. I mean, you're just a crook. And they won't listen to that voice. You could say, I won. You know, there's very few people in very few winning circles where they don't have, even the winners or losers, right? Because they're struggling with their own, you know, the whole reason why they're winners in the first place is they fought so desperately and so hard because they really needed validation. They needed to be somebody, blah blah blah, all that kind of crap. So they have all kinds of psychology, and then maybe they just had a life, you know, and horrible things happened. They ran over their little brother, you know, when they were a kid. You know, when they were 16, their 5-year-old brother was behind the car, and they decided to play with the car, and they ran the brother over. Some kind of horrible crap that just, you know, for the rest of their life they gotta live with this fucking spike in their head of horror that they had to witness and live with, and the stench of it never goes away. So even when they're in the victory, circle doing their little pour the champagne, they're still, they're still suffocating in the stench of life. Why I wouldn't sentence somebody to play it. Right, so it's just such a hard, ugly game, life, and this whole idea of shoving children into it because you love them is just such crap. There's so much jeopardy, there's so many ways to fail, and so few ways to succeed. It's just insane to say you love somebody as you expose them to radiation. I mean, cancer-causing radiation. It's just pathetically insane. Some brutal, horrible way to somehow improve them in some kind of micrometer way, to make your... Right, so I'm just pointing out how evolution is shit, man. It's fucking shit. The attrition, the waste, the absolute horror of the whole idea of, have 100 kids so 99 of them can be killed in some brutally horrible contest to be a survivor. When we know that most of the people survive for luck. People didn't survive the Black Plague because they were great people. They were usually the shitty people who, bailed on everybody else. It wasn't the nurses and the doctors. I just keep doing what I can. Alright, so just explaining what I'm attempting here and trying to, point out that yes, I'm trying to make product that is more efficient in getting the idea across, and part of the efficiency is there's no point in arguing issues that we don't disagree about. And so for every individual, I should make a video that can be tailored to them, in the sense that just asks a bunch of yes or no questions, like 4 of them, and you just figure out where you disagree. Because once you have the 4 facts, you're done. You've completed the path from starting point, what is life, to ending point, it's a mess and don't do it. It's shit fucking unproductive is what it is. It makes a mess and doesn't clean up enough of it, frankly. It's a zero-sum game and we're playing it badly. And that's bad. Okay, that means it's bad news. Alright, so anyway, that's the video. Still working on it and all of that crap. Working on lots of things. Blah, 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 blah. So, I'll continue to do that. We'll see where it goes. So, video link, in some location to the actual video I did make on the subject that's almost an hour long and such. And, Google's evil, and it's horrible that we have to use these evil platforms, but that's the world you voted for, so to speak. In the sense that we obviously, let's just say there's 1 or 2 of you that get it. We obviously haven't made that argument well enough either. That we shouldn't be leaving our civilization subject to the whims of capitalist, corporate, conniving, scheming motherfuckers. That maybe we deserve better than that. Alright. Maybe our free speech should be wrapped in better paper. Than that dirty shit. Anyway, so till the next time, and such, and so forth and whatnot. This has been Google's Evil, donotgod.com video presentation. So, till the next time, and such, and so forth and whatnot.